So looking back on my life and the way God called me, I think I saw something my mom showed me at home when I was in like second grade, like what do you want to be when you grow up? And I put down a missionary. And so really the seeds definitely were planted from very early on, and definitely cultivated in my family. That was a family that just really prayed, like a very kind of simple faith of a family that prayed. When I was in seventh grade, that was like a big moment. So Pope John Paul II came to St. Louis, my hometown, and I got to go to the youth rally. And I had kind of the JP2 moment that so many others had of like really him speaking to me personally. And so I was there for his kind of famous line that's been well quoted, Christ is calling you, the church needs you, the Pope believes and expects great things of you. And I was there for that, and I remember just like the whole, huge, arena just kind of going silent and like feeling like that was really speaking to me. And then later on that year I made my confirmation, and that was another like experience of really a profound moment of grace and feel like a real sense of being called. But at the same time I was very young, so I just kind of moved on, in life, and just kind of tucked that away in my heart and lived a very normal like high school life. I mean, I had a lot of friends and great high school experience. When I was in high school, I was a junior, and I met a young woman who was a senior in high school at a different school. And she was like super fun and normal and very like sure of herself and just great. And then I found out she was entering a convent right after high school. And in my mind, it was like, that was just so foreign, like to do that at such a young age and to really just like give yourself to God kind of in the prime of your life. And I was so struck by her, and I asked her a million questions that were just probably crazy. And she was so patient and so gentle and loving and just so sure of like this was what God was calling of her. And she really blew my mind about the sort of people that I thought God called to religious life. I think I had this kind of cooked up idea that, of the sort of people that enter religious life. So she really just opened my eyes that like God really could be calling me, and that all those experiences from when I was younger maybe were very real. And so she was a huge witness to me, and we still are in contact and everything, so that's really beautiful. Why the Dominican Order? Our motto goes back 800 years, to praise, to bless, to preach, and to really be rooted in what's true and the truth. And that was something that St. Dominic preached and was very concerned about in the world that he lived in, and I think it's very applicable to now. And I didn't grow up really sheltered. I was very much exposed to the things of the world, and I really saw very young that there was such a need for truth, and I was blessed with a real intuition, I think, for it, which really is a grace. And but I hate to be like, yeah, you should look for signs and all this sort of stuff. Sometimes God works with those things, sometimes he doesn't. But when I asked for application papers to enter our community, I was on an airplane going home, and I was sitting next to this woman, and she started talking to me all about how she had been in Albi, France, talking to the Albigensians. And I mean, that was the exact heresy that Dominic founded the order to combat, which you usually don't hear people refer themselves as Albigensians these days, even if they have those ideas. So I did find that actually a very confirming sign that I was supposed to be Dominican. And I remember having never really prayed to St. Dominic until that moment. But one thing that's beautiful about the Dominican order is that we really, as teachers and as preachers, that we want to show that God is in everything in the world, and that's why actually our sisters, we teach secular subjects as well. And so that to show that God is and the truth is found not just in theology class, but in all classes. And that's something I really love about teaching history, and I think I do communicate well to my students, is that God is really alive and his providence is really forming history, and that history is something to teach us actually about our souls and about our eternal destiny. So that is kind of a hallmark of the Dominican order, is that Dominicans are involved in science and in philosophy and in literature and in all the academic areas, trying to bring and trying to show what is true in those, and not letting them kind of go away to the wind of the rest of the world. So.